Okay, so this is how backwards modern feminism is. Modern feminism is undeniably anti-men. Yet at the core, now you have to critically think here, men have never had easier access to a woman's body and her sacred energy. She's wearing almost little to nothing. She's sleeping with any man that looks her way, and she's taking her clothes off wherever the fuck she wants at any given time. This is all being disguised as female empowerment. But what modern women cannot comprehend is that men are not losing here. This is a win-win for men. You have your independence, and now he doesn't have to do anything to win you over. He doesn't have to plan any dates. He doesn't have to put in any effort. He doesn't have to do anything because you're exposing yourself freely in the name of equal opportunity. Please let that sink in. At the end of the day, this whole movement of my body, my choice, I can have sex with 50,000 guys because men can do the same thing, is just a justification for why her standards are so low. Like, modern women have the lowest standards. They don't even exist. And her reasoning for that is because I'm feeling empowered. You know, here we go, fight justice. Girl, no, just say that your standards are really low.
I like this one.
You know, in a lot of cases, this woman is right. Modern day womanism pretty much gave men what we wanted without a lot of the effort that we had to put in before. On top of that, I mean, with the dating apps and stuff like that, it's everywhere. You can't really charge a high price for something that you have spread out everywhere. Everybody's doing it nowadays. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But let's get to it.
I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success. That's fucking sickness. I found myself divorced and out there looking for love in all the wrong places. And this one and that one and that one and that one and this one and that one. And my body count going up and my value going down. I'm just going to call it like a TI is. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them. I should have stayed married to my husband. I felt like I was on this dark road with no street lights, pitch dark, and I couldn't find my way. And
what this woman is describing is pretty much hypergamy. And once women start to feel like they're better than you in most cases, it's pretty much over for the relationship. They're just going to do what they want and find another dude to do that with. So your best bet at that point is just to keep it moving. But at least this lady took accountability for her actions. Unfortunately, because of the age that she's at, unless she's found a new husband, it's probably too late for her, to be honest. But I mean, at least she has the right mindset if she does find somebody in the future. And maybe she will. Who knows?
Look, I have a kid. I used to be like that until I had my kid. Now that I have my kid, like, I might be this, oh, I'm a boss bitch, da, da, da. But deep down in my heart, I would do absolutely anything to be at home and be, like, always with my child.
There you go.
But unfortunately,
and have a man protect you. Stop acting like, stop leaving out the man part.
Right.
Because for you to be home with your child, that means you got a man holding you down,
yeah,
protecting you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's right. And that shit's hard. Like, but unfortunately, since I'm by myself, I gotta hustle, you know? Yeah. But I would do anything to have a man like that.
That's what we saying. That's exactly.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless you for telling the fucking truth. God bless you for telling the truth.
I'll do whatever you want. I'll cook for you, wait on you, make love to you. I can make you happy, Josh.
You know what? That's actually that's actually real. Like, it's true. It's not just a meme. Like, a few months ago, I was reading an article about a feminist. She regretted being a feminist. She's 38 years old, never married. She doesn't have kids. and she was crying. It was an article and with pictures and like there's pictures of her crying, and I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So first off, what I think is that you blink too much. I don't know if that's like a disorder or if he's just doing that to be funny or if that's just how he is. You know what? I'm gonna leave that to me. Beyond that, I believe that there are a lot of people who truly regret their decisions in the same way. A lot of women who do, but I also believe that they have a pressure after putting on an act for so long to continue to portray that act. So their back is kind of against the wall, and then by the time that they realize that pretty much no one cares and they're alone, it's too late. They're like late 30s, early 40s, haven't taken care of their health, haven't taken care of, they haven't nurtured the skills that they need to be a feminine woman and to be locked down to somebody. So it's a real unfortunate situation, just to be real.
At this point, I feel like I could make a whole series about things that modern feminism has pissed me off by doing. But one of the biggest things that has pissed me off is like the rebranding of degrading things and just like girl bossifying it. And instead of just deciding like maybe we should stop using that concept in general, like instead of getting rid of the concept of anything that a woman does being slutty, we're just like, yeah, I'm a slut, but like I'm a slut. Like I hate that so much. I hate it so fucking much. Instead of getting rid of the idea that we are slutty or we're whores or we're this and that because we like to wear certain outfits or we like sex or we like to do certain things, instead of getting rid of that concept or fighting against that in general, instead of that, we're just like, how can we make the degradation or the humiliation, how can we make it cutesy? How can we add a little sparkle to it? Instead of saying, actually, fuck that. I'm not a slut because I like sex. I'm not a slut because I choose what I put on my body and I choose what makes me feel confident. I just don't think we should have to settle for becoming comfortable in our cages and adding fuzzy little socks and blankets and cute little things to the cage instead of getting the fuck out of it. I'm sick of that shit. I want us to get out of the cage, not make it look nicer, not pretend that we like it, not get Stockholm syndrome inside of it. I want us to say, fuck the fucking cage.
So I hope I'm not interpreting what this lady's saying wrong. In some ways, she sounds like she's trying to say that women shouldn't be over sexualizing themselves, which I completely agree with. At the end there, she kind of is talking about being held to a certain standard as far as how women dress and stuff like that. And I mean, if you're not gonna bring back shame in its entirety, then what's the point of even complaining about it? To be honest, like, to me, I think that a lot of this stuff is holding a lot of women back. To be honest, like, they just overextending themselves in certain ways, and it's not really working out good for them, as we can see. But hopefully they can get it together.
I was a feminist when feminism was about equality, about levelling the playing field, giving women an opportunity to find their rightful place, particularly in the public world, which was tremendously important and exciting when we achieved that. But what feminism today, to me, is all about advantaging women at the expense of men. And it's become very much caught up in the demonisation of males, presenting them always at a disadvantage. And I don't want to have any part of that. I was writing recently about boys' education, which is something I've written about for many decades. And I came across an article I wrote 40 years ago where we just started to notice how badly boys were doing vis-a-vis girls. I mean, we'd had 10 years of programs trying to help girls do better in the schools, which was fantastic. And a lot of girls who had been held back by traditional assumptions about, girls not speaking up and girls not doing well in maths were now beginning to shine, which was a fantastic thing. But what was becoming very obvious is there were also a lot of boys falling behind and not achieving their potential. We have really very much feminist ideology infiltrating all our education systems, systematic programs to continue to advantage girls, and no one taking any notice of the fact that boys are falling out in huge numbers.
I think that this lady here has a very good idea of what's going on. As far as how much women are catered to in society, which I believe that they don't even pay attention to it themselves to understand the advantage that, in some cases, that they have over men. Um, the biggest example I could say is like, okay, schools and stuff like that. Men are more prone to doing things with their hands and being more physically active. In my personal opinion, I know that there are men who work in offices and stuff like that. That's great, and I know that those people exist and they do, they do what they have to do. But there are a lot of men who are more prone to doing trade work or things that keep them occupied physically. Also, she mentioned about women having advantages in schools, which is why you see a lot of men, in my opinion, dropped out of college, not really going to college anymore. And then on top of that, on the back end, a lot of men don't even go to church anymore because those are kind of like women's spaces now. So things have gotten very strange. I will say that.
Okay, here is why more and more young women are rejecting feminism and just like do not want to be associated with it at all. I think these younger generations have really, really good BS detectors. So on its face, feminism sounds great, right? Equality for all and girls supporting girls. That sounds so beautiful. But the second you kind of test that out, you very quickly find that it has just become a total facade. If I'm putting on makeup for my husband to come home from work, or if I'm cooking for him, they get upset. They don't like that. Like whoever the head of PR is for feminism needs to be fired. They are doing a horrible job because almost all of their representatives who are outspoken, they just seem so miserable, so hateful, so bitter. It doesn't look fun at all. Nothing about that sounds appealing. I think that's why we're starting to see the like trad wife stuff on TikTok, is because people are so sick of the other side, like so done with the angry, man-hating, like putting women down. Ugh, it's boring, it's old, we're done with it. You don't have to like me, you don't have to like other women on social media. You can call everybody names and be upset, but just don't pretend that you support other women because you don't. And a lot of people are seeing right through it.
Fact. Whoa. You just said, hold on, wait. Did you just say every woman here is a pick me? Wait. How is understanding how the other species operates and what they value, what they want, a pick me? When we always say, when we always say that they need to understand women, it's like, how are you supposed to be in a relationship with someone? When you get in a relationship with friends, you try to understand your friends and you want them to understand you so you can grow that relationship, so you can be the best friend they have in that relationship. How are you going to be one-sided and say, oh, we don't need to understand men, we don't need to know this about men, they need to understand us and how we operate? And that's a pick me if we try to understand how they operate, to be able to have a good relationship, to not be single at 40 with 12 kids, to not die alone with a dog. How is that a pick me?
Well fucking said.
Because you think that they're understanding or they're like...
Are they not human?
No, of course they're human. You think that it is like, it's truth, it's gospel, it's like determining the facts. Like I cannot accept that
you think
those
what's
things
true?
determine a woman's value.
What's true?
Like that.
Stop it. Get some help.
I regret the most from that relationship is literally looking at him while he's crying and just kind of being like, you're a pussy. Like, being like that really rude person instead of validating his feelings. Like, I think back to that a lot. And like, I was young, so like, I didn't know any better. But I think back to that moment and like, I really regret it because I was just like, dude, he's a freaking human being.
Cap.
Modern day feminists. That's gonna be the whole point of this video. Because sometimes y'all seriously make me disgusted to be a female. I don't know when it became cute to be a whore, but it's not. And one day when you try to get married, it's not gonna work because of what you're doing now. And thinking that women's rights is the right to kill your baby? That's not what women's rights are. It's not. Like, that's gross. And last but not least, the Me Too movement. Anyone could have accused anyone of anything. I could tell you that you raped me. That doesn't mean you did. So
All right, so this lady, she touched on a lot of heavy subjects, but she was kind of tiptoeing on it. I don't know. She like a little bit half stepping, but a lot of the things that she spoke on in this little clip right here are important things that we should speak about and bring more light to, and just be real about. Man, a lot of that stuff is holding people. You know, a lot of women ask where the good men are at. Like a lot of this stuff is the stuff that's hindering men from even wanting to get involved with women. Like they don't want that problem. So it's like we got to have some solutions or something. Something's got to give. It's getting to a breaking point.
You don't want to define when that a child in the womb is a person, except unless they're 21 weeks old. Is that correct? So they don't get legal protection and a moral status until they are 21 weeks. And that sounds very arbitrary to me. It doesn't sound scientific. It doesn't sound fair. It doesn't sound just. And my understanding of your position is you're about nuance and the gray area, but you're drawing a very black and white line in an arbitrary place and saying because of that line, a child at 19 weeks can be live dismembered in an abortion. And you don't consider that violence and you don't consider that 19-week-old baby even a person. And my position is saying, I don't think that's loving or just.
He got cooked.
So a woman called me. She said, I'm 50 years old. I have 3 degrees. I'm a very successful entrepreneur, CEO. And I want you to know, Dennis, I deeply regret that I followed the feminist advice at college. Because when I come home after a successful day at work to an empty home, no husband, no children, no family, it's not good.
See, there's so many women out there fronting about this topic. And I'm sure there are women who don't want to have kids, never had an interest in having kids. But for the large majority, they do. And they always put on the front as if that's never going to affect them. But we hear about the stories when it's too late. Why not change your behavior early in the game so you can actually have an opportunity to redirect and to fix your issue, if you will? But it never occurs to them until later on in life. And then by that time, nobody wants to deal with them. Come on, man. We got to do better.
Did I have to leave work over an hour early today to go pick up my kid who had a little bit of a cough this morning, but no fever. And he is his mother's child and a little bit dramatic, okay? He is a Pisces. We'll get into it later, okay? So I get there, I pick him up, and then he dances to the car like the badass bitch he is, okay? And I'm like, listen, bud, if you're sick enough to go home from school early, then you are sick enough to go home and lay in bed, no TV, no video games, all that. When I tell you, you're a bad mom, you don't listen, you're not listening to me, and let me tell you, don't come for me, but we allow our kids to experience things. But then he goes, you can't tell me to lay down because it's my body, my choice.
Got him. We can got him.
All right, guys, I'm ready to light some fires. This is why I do not agree with feminism. And to clarify, I mean nuanced feminism. This topic has so much breadth that I'm just going to touch the surface with it. 1. Nuanced feminism has gone above and beyond to demonize traditional values from women. And by this, I mean traditional roles such as having children, staying at home and supporting their husbands emotionally and spiritually, and being caretakers. 2. It is now merged with extreme leftist beliefs, especially pertaining to the LGBTQRST movement, where we now have men claiming to be women, and it is widely accepted, with verbiage such as birthing people, breastfeeding people, and menstruating people. I'm sorry, but isn't telling men that they can be women the exact opposite of feminism? Men do not birth, men do not menstruate, and men do not breastfeed. 3, it has greatly degraded men and their attribute to society. Feminism is supposed to be advocating for rights for women. We now live in a day and time when they have included the entire population, including men. How does that make sense? Lastly, I'm going to say this once, so listen to me good. Men and women are not equal, biologically, spiritually, or emotionally.
By pushing this equality agenda, we have deeply degraded the innate divinity that is being a woman.
He ain't lying. I fell for the boss bitch, I could do everything by myself, that hyper independent bullshit. And I'm 31 now, and I still don't have kids. I still don't have a family. I was focused on trying to get after the bag and all this. Yo, what? I'm in a place now in my life where I'm reevaluating everything. My values, my perspectives, what I really want in the future. And what I really want is a family. I feel like social media or just everything around us, society in general, wants to push that the woman is the future. No, the family is the future.
There are so many women that are going to be in this situation because they have been lied to. And there are a lot of men out there that want to have families that have been trying to say this. They have been trying to say that they just want a woman that is loving and caring in nature. They don't care if you're a boss babe. If anything, unfortunately, it might work against you. Now, for this woman, she's come to that realization with plenty of time. I think she's going to find what she wants.
People consider me a feminist, but today I'm going to call out toxic feminism and explain to people what the difference is. Toxic feminism believes that women are above men. I just want to be treated equally. Toxic feminists feel as though it is their right to verbally or physically abuse men. Feminists think that verbal abuse and physical abuse is wrong, no matter the gender. Toxic feminism claims that only women are the victims. Feminism does not dismiss the things men go through, but it also doesn't ignore the things that women go through. Toxic feminism demonizes men. Feminism accepts men, but understands that there are things that we as women still experience that need to change, like being told we deserved something because of the way that we were dressed. Toxic feminism is sexism. Feminism isn't. Toxic feminism is harmful. Feminism is helpful. Toxic feminism for women is pretty much misogyny for men. Toxic feminism reminds me of extremism in religion. It doesn't mean the foundation's bad. It just means there's assholes in it that give the rest of us a bad name.
This lady here's got the right idea. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please, if you guys have made it this far, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so I can be notified, or you can be notified anytime that I upload. Also, join the Discord. Link will be in the bio. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.